this. Okay, good evening. This is Christy Leskovac, and we are kicking off our booking boot camp. And just to clarify, I tried to clarify it in the post on our team page too, but it's a booking boot camp. So this is a 4-call series, and this is the first one. Each one will be about 20 minutes or so. Now, of course, with interaction stuff, it could go maybe 25 minutes, but we will record them all. I feel like it's best if you can be on live. This is a little bit later where, by the time we get off, you might be able to just shoot some text or maybe even make some phone calls. I don't personally like to call people after 9. In the summertime, it's a little different, but when it's dark outside, I don't like to call people after dark as far as the phone ringing, that kind of thing. So what we are here today for is we are here just to get focused. And a lot of times I feel like Jaleese, we were talking a little bit earlier, and you were kind of sounding a little bit frustrated with some things that are going on. And a lot of times we can do that. Something happens that we don't expect, or something's delayed a little further. And sometimes it gets us down. And I'm the same way, whether it's something going on in your personal life, or maybe somebody reschedules and you can't get them, get a hold of them or whatever. And it can be annoying. But what I want to do with this call is really just help us to kind of clear that from our minds and kind of get refocused. So Jill, I know you mentioned, I didn't do my homework, which is fine because I know you probably have it done before, but who wants to share? Let's talk about what I asked you guys to do ahead of time.
Print our customer list, add phone numbers, write down our open dates.
Yep. Now, do you guys know how to print your host list and customer list? Okay, yeah. It sounds like. And you can go ahead and unmute unless you have some background noise, and then that way
Well, I just have a parrot, and so she likes to talk and be loud. So that's not something I have ever done. So I just found where I could find my customers' wish list the other day, and I was super excited about that.
Yay. Okay, so I'm going to jump on here real quick. So what you're going to do is just go to pamperedchef.com. And you're going to go, in here real quick. You're going to go to pamperedchef.com, and you're going to sign on to Consultant's Corner. And then, hi, Laura. Laura joined us here. So you're going to
Hi, Laura.
And under Selling and Recruiting, you're going to see Personal Business Reports. Okay? So it's one up from the bottom underneath Selling and Recruiting. And this is going to give you a host list. You can see right there. This will give you a customer list. The cool thing about this is you can go click on your customer list and a minimum order amount. So maybe you want anybody who's ordered $50 or more. Or maybe you want somebody who's ordered $20 or more, $25 or more. Because those lower orders, they may have more on their wish list, right? So that's how you can print off or just bring up a customer list. So if you're thinking, who am I going to call? That's a great place to go. You can also just go to your shows, go under My Shows. If you want just your host list, especially those of you that have been doing this for a year or more, or even 6 months or more, because you have those past season hosts that might want to rebook again. So in that case, you can do your show type. I would do all. Maybe if you want a minimum sales and a maximum sales. So that's how you can generate those reports that were on your homework. And then the launch list, if you go to under training and to PC University, underneath the bookings, resources, of course, I think it's bookings. It might be under resources actually. Well, there's the table talk. This is a good source of just booking information, like scripts and things like that. So when you are looking for, I don't even know what to say, these are things that you can do, either print out or copy and paste into something where you're ready to go. So this is good things to do when it's maybe too late to make a phone call, because you can be prepared then. You're preparing yourself, you're getting your mindset ready for when you have 15 minutes to make some calls or 20 minutes to shoot some text. So you're mentally prepared, you have words to say. So underneath resources in PCU and underneath booking, whichever need at the moment. But the booking one is what we're talking about today because we want to add more parties to our calendar. Now the launch list, I think, is you can probably just even search for launch list up here. But under new consultants, consultants start here, you'll be able to find that launch list because it's wanting you to, right here, underneath the first 24 hours. So all of you that are on the call here today are not brand new consultants, but that is a quick way to get your launch list. And if you don't have your launch list from when you started, I certainly don't. It's a great way to just help get your juices flowing. Who do I know in these different areas? Okay, so that's going to help you know who to call. Okay, so that was the one thing on your list. Jill, you also mentioned knowing your open dates. Does everybody know, like if I was just going to say, okay, go around the room, tell me your next date. Does everybody know what they are? Tomorrow.
Unfortunately, there are many.
Okay, there you go. But you know what? Look at the opportunity you have, right? Look at the opportunity you have. So, and I say that because you never know when you're going to maybe be out and about and you're not even necessarily working on bookings at the time, but a conversation might start up. And I'll tell you what, it's very professional if you can just say, oh my gosh, we're talking, Jill. We started a conversation. We haven't seen each other in a while. And they know you did for Jeff. It comes up in the conversation. And I could say something like, oh my gosh, Jill, you know what we should do is get some friends together. I will treat you to a fun night with your friends and you stock your kitchen for free and half price. What do you think? I have next Thursday. The second open or that following Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? Now.
So you can do, like, you're not afraid to book a house party that close?
Oh, great question. I will tell you, and Jaleese, maybe you have not heard this story. Aldana, Laura, Jill, you may have heard this story, but you're going to hear it again. There was a time in my business, and this was when we had moved here, and I wasn't quite to the point where I was having my normal show schedule yet. So I was kind of adding parties wherever I could get them, right? And this one gal, we kept kind of playing phone tag with. We kept trying to, she would call me in a date. She would throw out a couple dates, but then I couldn't make that work. Anyway, we talked on a Wednesday night, and it was probably around 9 o'clock, 9:30. I mean, she knew I was going to be calling her, or she was going to be calling me. So it was a later time on Wednesday that we confirmed her show date following Sunday, right? So if we're looking at Wednesday the 1st, I mean, we basically scheduled the party for the 5th. And it was actually kind of this time of year too, because she wanted to make sure everything was going to be back before Christmas or before Thanksgiving. And actually this was a gal that we kept going back and forth. I said, Deb, the only time I have open, the only time I can do it when we have things back before Thanksgiving is Sunday. But here's what you need to do. And here's the reason I think she did it. It didn't throw me off, even though I was kind of like, oh my gosh, in my head, right? I said, Deb, here's what we need to do. I'm going to send you an email tonight. I want you to copy and paste the section I tell you, and you just put that into an email to everybody that you know. Now, this was about 8 years ago, so Facebook wasn't what it is today, right? So I told her to do that. I said, I will also text you the link that you can text to friends and family. You want to just encourage everybody to come. And here's what I had her do on the email. The subject line on the email was, what are you doing Sunday afternoon? Who wouldn't want to open an email that says, what are you doing Sunday afternoon? First thing people want to do is figure out what they're going to miss if they don't make it, right? Or you want to think, you're thinking, what's going on Sunday afternoon that I want to be a part of, right? Mm-hmm. He did that. And the crazy thing is it was like a $1,200 party, first of all. She had 18 people there. One gal was her premier jewelry person. And the jewelry person was like, Deb, oh my gosh, how did you get all these people here? And you know what she said? I did everything she told me to do. And here's the deal. Would most of your hostesses think to invite their premier party lady? Mm-hmm. But I said, invite everybody in your inbox. And her premier person was in the inbox. You know who else was there? Who else was there was a girl that she knew through her brother that used to be a lifeguard with her brother at the Jewish Community Center. He hadn't seen this girl in like 5 years. And just a side note, that girl was on my team for about 1.5 years. She booked a party. I mean, like, it was a crazy good show. And the thing is, it was a high show in sales. I had like 2 or 3 bookings, and it was people from different areas of Deb's life. Deb thanked me afterwards. She said, that was so much fun to see so many people I hadn't seen in a while. You see? So you have to have confidence. So, and I kind of like to share that story because it kind of helps me too to remember, like, if I have an opening, I'm going to try to get it sooner than later. So I want you to take your November calendar, and you guys, if you've known me, these little Post-it flags are the best thing since sliced bread, because they're not going to mess up your calendar if you have to, move somebody over to a date, right? My calendar's messy enough as it is. And I was predetermined because October was kind of open when we did this before, and I actually filled it. I had like $2,500 in sales this month just from things that I booked since our first boot camp. So no, I'm doing it too. One of them was a show, and right now it's at $1,400 from last Thursday. We're closing it out on tomorrow. One of them was kind of a referral from a fundraiser I did for JDRF. It's an online fundraiser for a gymnastics team. And then one was a virtual party. There was a good virtual party. So, and it was from a gal. I did a little email, customer connection email that I hadn't done in a while, just offering like the host special and the October special they were having, right, with anything 60% off. And it was a gal that used to live here. She's retired. They retired in Montana, but she did a virtual party. It was like $600. Not every virtual party is like that, but I'm just saying, like, I think especially this time of year, we need to take advantage of the time of year. So what's something that we can say right now that we can really be excited about and share with people that we're talking to about booking?
The host special for November, the Rock
November.
Amazing.
You have to know what the specials are. What's the specials for December, by the way?
Is it 60% off again? No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. So here's the thing, because sometimes I get to where I'm like, oh, I forgot, or oh. In fact, okay, so here's the thing. This is my little booking thing that I bring to all my parties, right? Well, I always have the booking specials in here, right? I need to update it because I need to put December's in here. Because I like to have this out when I'm making calls, because I want to know exactly. And here's the thing, when you're on the phone with somebody and you're not seeing my face, you don't know if I'm looking through my book to know the exact details, right? Now, why don't I ask you about December right now when we still want November parties?
In case somebody says they don't have time in November, they will. I've got this open in December.
Okay, so let's do this a little bit, Jill. If you're calling me on the phone, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what? I cannot squeeze one more thing into November. What could you say?
I totally understand. It's crazy for everybody. I understand that. I'd really like for you to be able to take advantage of some of the great offers that Pampered Chef has right now. If you can't do in November, December's host special is phenomenal. 60% off anything in the catalog, either single item or a set. It's just amazing deal that, let's get something together in December. People need to do some Christmas shopping. Maybe you do as well. And we can get this done beforehand so everything's there but before Christmas, and people can ship out their gifts or wrap up their gifts and get it done.
I love it. So here's the thing. First of all, what you said was perfect, because if you're talking to somebody, you're engaging with them, and you're just trying to find a date, right? And they can't do November, but my golly, you have them on the phone. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take advantage of the holiday shopping. Let's go ahead and set something up for you in December. You can kind of pick your date at this point, because we can have everything back before Christmas, right? So I'm going to also kind of mention, while the host bonuses are fantastic bonuses, I feel like it's really important, and I'm saying speaking from experience, because once you get to the point where you have repeat hosts, I had a hostess that was going to do a party in October, but then the October host bonus It was kind of one of those, she had most of the stuff that was on there or else she didn't need it. And then she's like, what's November's bonus? So she wanted to kind of wait till November because of the bonus was better. Now, of course, after this conversation, that's when they made it anything for 60% off. But then she ended up having to change her November party to a virtual party even. So I say that just to kind of caution you to not make a big deal about the host bonus. Make a big deal about, oh my gosh, my host last week got $300 worth of free products. Because guess what? Those free products, my host last week got 5 items at half price. That happens every month. Oh my gosh, and guess what? As a bonus in November, you can get that rock crock set at 60% off. You see what I'm saying? So that can be kind of more of an afterthought. One thing that I want to stress right now is the fact that we can do a party next week and all your friends will have their stuff before Thanksgiving. Sometimes there are some people, even my age, that are hosting their first Thanksgivings at their house. Or even if they're not hosting it, they're bringing some things, right? And especially, I don't know, it's always good to bring like the best dish to the party, right? So let's help people with their, solving those problems with them, or, help them to feel confident when they're bringing a dish for Thanksgiving. So those are things that you're talking to people now. So know what dates you have open. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with having your calendar right here in front of you. There's nothing wrong with having your little binder of all your specials right here in front of you so you know exactly what you're talking about. And you can take confidence and you can really be excited, okay? Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is this, and you guys can share. Actually, I'd like you to share. In an ideal world, how many nights a week would you love to work? How many parties each week would you love to be doing?
2.
2.
2?
1.
So by doing calculations, Eldana would have 4 shows on her calendar. Jill and Jaleese would have about 8. Now, Laura, we were asking, how many, in an ideal world, how many parties would you like to be doing each week?
Yeah, I was here. It's time to put this down. So probably 2.
2. Okay. So here's the thing. We're sitting here on Sunday night. Monday's tomorrow. So if we're looking at next week, right? Actually, tomorrow's the 30th, right? When are your shows next week? You don't have to answer out loud if you don't want to.
I have only one on Saturday.
You have one on Saturday. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say to all of you. Look at your week next week. I know we have Jaleese, Jill, and Laura who said they'd like to be doing 2 parties a week, and Eldana 1. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to use Jaleese as an example because she has a party on Saturday the 4th. So pick another day this week that you're going to work. And let me kind of explain that. And really, Jill, you look at your week and say, which 2 days am I going to work? Eldana, which day am I going to work? Laura, which 2 days am I going to work? And if you don't have a party scheduled next week, I want you to pick 2 times next week that you're going to spend an entire hour. An entire hour. How long are you going to be at a party if you had a party booked? Let's say you had a party booked on Wednesday night. How long would you be gone?
3 hours.
3 hours. And that may or may not include drive time, right?
Yeah, 3, sometimes 4. And granted, I've only done a few in-house parties, so I don't have this whole thing ironed out properly to have it in a rhythm.
Right.
The last party, I was actually at their house for 3 hours.
Yeah, and that's fine. And sometimes, depending on the number of parties or number of people there, you're there for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. So let's just say, on average, 3 hours you're at the hostess's house. I'm saying pick 2 times this week that you can say, I am going to work. And here's the thing. Schedule it in your calendar. Let your family know. Hey, I work on Tuesday night. Maybe not Tuesday this week because it's Halloween. But, maybe I'm going to work on Monday and Thursday this week. And I would recommend, I'm not even going to say what the best time is going to be to call. But I'm going to say, hey, okay, family, I'm going to be working from 7 to 8. And I almost guarantee you're going to get on a roll, and you might even be on the phone for an hour and a half, maybe, which is still less time than you would be at a party. And I cannot tell you enough how that will impact your business when you just show up to work. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Over the years, there would be times I'd have a party schedule, reschedule or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, I'm off tonight. And I'd go just sit and watch TV with my husband or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that, except if I was planning on working, and then for whatever reason I didn't work that night, not only am I not getting income that night, I'm not getting future business, I'm not replacing that income, and I'm not growing my business. Mm-hmm. So now, when I have a show that reschedules, I try to spend at least a half hour or an hour making calls, because I want to at least get 2 bookings on my calendar. One to replace that show, for that month, if possible, and one to grow, right? So, is everybody with me? Is everybody? Because I'm going to ask you guys what days next week you're going to work. And here's the thing: my personal preference right now with my schedule and the kids' schedule, I like to do Mondays and Thursdays, except the first Monday, which is our meeting, which we'll hopefully be at our meeting. But Mondays and Thursdays is what I like to work. On meeting days or meeting weeks, I do Tuesday and Thursday. That's what I like to work. Now, granted, I have I have a Saturday show. I have Tuesday next week because it's team, or the 7th because it's team meeting on Monday. I have the 9th. I know I have the 14th open, which is a Tuesday, because I'm adding more parties into November than I would normally do. So some weeks I'm going to have 3 parties. Anybody know why? I'll give you a hint.
You're in sales?
Well, definitely want to take advantage of the people that are wanting parties before the holidays, for sure. Yeah. But the more people I'm in front of in November, the easier December is going to be to book. I would like to be booking in January before I get to December, because by the time that calendar turns to December, ladies, people aren't going to want to think about anything until after the holidays.
Right.
Now, we're sitting here at the end of October. So if we can really commit to ourselves and to our businesses, I'm going to show up to work next week. Next week's Halloween's on Tuesday, so maybe I'll take Halloween off. But I'm going to go on Monday and Thursday, or Monday and Wednesday. And I'm going to go to my office or a quiet place, and I'm going to make calls and get 2 bookings. Like I said, you might get on a roll. Now, I talked to you about the booking table talk and where to find that underneath resources, and then bookings and PCU. That has words to say. I just want to talk about a couple of things, and we're kind of at the 24, 25 minute right now. But I just want to reiterate a couple of things. When I asked earlier what's something to be really excited about right now, I know I mentioned this, but this is what I was kind of going for. Let's help get your friends ready for the holidays. Let's, if we can do a party, and turn it in by the 10th of November. Let me look at this. The 10th of November, even by the 13th, 14th of November, they're going to have their things by Thanksgiving. Okay? I haven't seen a guarantee cutoff, but basically you're just encouraging them. Let's do a party. We can do a party on the 2nd. The 2nd's a Thursday. You start messaging people now, you can easily schedule a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday party this coming up week. Make sense? Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay. So I have one more little thing I want to share, and then the next call is actually tomorrow night. Tomorrow at 7:30, I think. And the content's going to be a little shorter because I want you guys to be able to, if we start this at 7:30 tomorrow, and then we're done in about 20 minutes, you have like almost an hour even tomorrow that you could totally be implementing some of the things that we're going to be talking about. Okay? So definitely tonight, you're going to want to print off those lists, or at least get some people that you want to talk to, right? Here's the thing too. I would love to challenge you guys to each book your own party. Book your own party. book your own party, and it could be a workshop, where you're going to just teach them, hey, I'm going to teach you some quick and easy holiday desserts, or I'm going to teach you some quick and easy holiday meals so that your family can be eating real food during the craziness of the holidays. And you're basically going to do like 2 one-pot meals or something. Does that make sense?
I have a question about that, if I may. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Okay, so I booked a party for myself last month, and I was going to do that this weekend to help send me over the edge. But I was struggling because when I did it last month, I feel like I invited too many people. But I'm struggling because at the conference, some people said don't invite too many people because then people feel like they get lost in the cracks. And then somebody else said invite everybody because you never know who would be willing to come. And so I feel like that I invited too many, but I didn't want to leave anybody out. So how do you figure out who your target group is?
Okay, let me stop you right there. First of all, I'm going to say pick a date that you're going to have this event, because I'm challenging you to get on the phone and call people. I'm not challenging you to create a Facebook event and invite all 500 or 800 or 1,200 of your friends. So I kind of think that's where you're going, Julie. So I'm guessing you probably invited people through Facebook.
I did.
Okay. So here's where those comments that you were getting about being impersonal, and a lot of people don't even see Facebook events. There are people that are on there all the time. There are people that are hardly on there, even though they have an account, right? There are people that don't even know where to find an event once they see it pop up. So I am having a customer appreciation event at my house. I do it once a year, and I actually had postcards made at Vistaprint. Now, clearly, you can't have these made for something you're trying to plan in the next 10 days. But if you do an annual, fun event, you can certainly do that and start inviting people. What I would do to invite people to this party, set the date before you make phone calls, because then when you're on the phone with them, if they can't, maybe they don't want to book a party, or maybe you get a voicemail and you can say, hey, Julie, it's Christy with Pampered Chef. Hey, I'm sorry I missed you. I wanted to let you know about a fun event I'm hosting. So, shoot me a text back. Let me know. Because here's the thing. Sometimes they might text you or call you if they think you're just inviting them to something fun, right? Well, you invite them to something fun and you have so much fun, and then you offer them some kind of incentive to book a party. You see what I'm saying? There's a benefit to that. I like to do this at the beginning of every November. This is the 3rd year in a row I've done it that first Thursday of November. And I do give stuff away. It's totally just customers and hosts that I have here. I do giveaways, and they get tickets for various things. Booking a party is one. And I like to try to get my December and January kind of at least some good solid bookings in December and January. And possibly even, I'm really working hard to get November full before the 2nd. I could still have 5 shows, but I'm overbooking. Actually 4. I have 4 that I could add in there. But does that make sense? So to answer your question, for this event, you might end up creating a Facebook event to invite certain people. But I'm talking invite people, call people, use a customer connection email to people, text people. Hey, Michael Yoakley, I'm sure you've probably heard of him. He was with Joe Ellen on the spring product introduction. He did a thing where he just posted a fun picture on Facebook and just said, oh my gosh, I'm trying out some brunch recipes on Saturday. Who wants to come and be taste testers? Or who wants to come to a breakfast for dinner brunch workshop? Something like that, where he posted a recipe that he wanted to try out, and he was just inviting people. So you can kind of use that as a teaser too. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I do feel like if you're going to do something in your home, because even this event I've done, and I did set up a Facebook invite. I invited people that have gone in the past. I made a comment like, my customer appreciation event's coming up. Comment if you want to be added. I added all those people. So I didn't just invite everybody on my Facebook friend list. I'm inviting specific people. I did a customer connection email about this. I've been handing these out. I did mail. I not only mailed these to past hosts, but I hand wrote their address on the envelope. Because people like to get handwritten something besides bill or junk mail or spam mail, right?
Yep.
Okay. I know you guys have heard the belief triangle before, but here's the thing. Here's our little triangle, right? Here's what we believe at the top. And when we're going through some of those kind of maybe frustrating times, maybe our belief isn't right there. But then we know what actions we need to take to get the results we want that will reinforce the belief. So if you're at a point where you don't really believe in the company and your products and yourself even, then you just need to do what we say and just know that if you take those actions, if you show up to work twice a week or once a week, whatever you want, and you really have that hour that I'm challenging you guys to do twice a week when you don't have parties, is actually making connections. Don't use that hour to get your list ready. Don't use that hour to get your scripts printed off. Get all that done before you start your timer for your hour. You're dialing numbers, you're texting people, you're reaching out on Facebook during that hour. And here's the thing too, I want to encourage you. Don't get discouraged if after that first hour you don't have the results right then. I've had people that I've been messaging and I've been texting, and it's kind of right now I'm getting people responding back, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, do you still have that date open? You know what I mean? So sometimes it takes a couple, but if you're consistent about showing up to work, the results will come. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Next call number 2 in our series is going to be tomorrow night at 7:30 Central. So I hope to see you guys then.